Okay, everybody. So, I wanted to come here. This has been the craziest 2 weeks in April, period. Welcome back. This is your Gen X manifestation spiritualist guru. Um, since you watching, thanks for the clicks. Thanks for the watch through. Thanks for seeing everything I'm going to say. Okay. These have been crazy weeks. Okay, for Cancer risings, let's just get ready and go into this. Because anything can be buried in this entire process with Cancer risings, right? Beginning to realize that the rising sign is just like really the sign, I think. I could not imagine being an Aries sun, Aries rising with an Aries moon, and like an Aries Venus or Aries Mars. Can you imagine? Like, that person would pop off very fast in life, and that's just mm, 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 mm. I'm a Cancer rising. I'm an Aries sun, but okay. So let's just get to it. What has everybody been going through? Mine has been, first off, I wanted to just come here and say something to all people, Cancer risings or not. If you don't have any thought in your mind of changing what you're doing from year to year and nothing in your life is changing, that's where your answer is. You got to do something different. Even if you're going after a goal, you have to do something different. I remember I was taking a light body course with Oren and Da Ben. Like, I ordered the CDs at the time, had them sent to me, and was doing the light body work. And we'll possibly look back into doing that again. It was very transformative. But one thing it taught me is that you gotta keep changing what you're doing. You can't stay stuck in doing things one particular way. Take, for instance, when I was working in higher ed, one of the biggest problems of, I think, all education are the teachers. Hello, Eloise. Not because the teachers are a problem per se, but the idea of old tradition rearing its head all the time in places where people, hello to everyone, a blanket hello, where people are supposed to be doing research, people are supposed to be on the cutting edge, bringing forth brand new inspiration and hustle and bustling energy to the literal collective by what they put out into the world, and you have older people in major positions at universities that make it hard for students to actually do that. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is doing good. Um, Please be mindful of your comments. We're here for positive vibes only. And all my Cancer risings, hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for the compliment, Bridget Branch. I hope everybody is doing well. But getting back to it, you're at a college and you're a student, you're burgeoning, you're brand new. Yes, there needs to be some protocols, some checks, and some balances. However, there is a process where you have an older person who's in a comptroller's office, who's in a scheduling office, who's in, I'm going to try and pick some more places, who's in a conduct office, and who's in a provost office. Those are like four major places that students kind of have to be. And we'll even add a fifth one, the chair's office. So you got the chairs, provost, conduct, comptroller, and a major scheduler in an office that you need to be getting into. If they don't feel that your appointment is that big of a deal, they won't put you in for scheduling. Comptrollers will annoy you up and down with paperwork and emails and everything within regards to finances because they have a feeling about you. I'm being very honest here. People in conduct, they have their mindset set against you as a student who walks in there. And I would tell all parents, if you're sending your kids to college and they have a conduct office at the college, do not ever allow your child to sign any paperwork without you. Period. Because they're railroading them. If they sign the paperwork, they agree to certain sanctions and all this kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, some people can get out of it if they come in there and cry good enough about, their flowers not going right for a wedding. And the person that's going over their stuff with them is partial to young, pretty girls that is planning weddings because they have a lot of daughters and they're doing that. Or they expect it to be happening soon. Same thing if a baby is coming, all that. Do not allow, you have to be careful when you're in these places where children are supposed to be bringing us brand new, fresh activity and energy that can be then, patented, put out for the world to use, where what is happening is you have a generation of people who want to hold on to the old ways. And in holding on to those old ways, they're not letting the pioneering edge guide anything. And I've heard this from a president, not a president, the provost at an Ivy League say. He gave this in his speech, and I have forever, always since that day, been changed by it. Because first off, it was amazing to me that he even acknowledged it, because he's on the side that would want to keep things status quo. But he understood, in order for him to be in the position, because he was a black man who was the first provost at this Ivy League school. Not the first black provost there, I believe. Yeah, I think he was. But the top provost, because there can be many different provosts at a school. All right, so my point to you is, those offices have people in them that are sometimes looking at you and causing you problems all the way. You have to have a system in charge of you that makes it so they can't touch you. Comptroller sending you an email every day, ignore her. You might have a friend that knows her boss and be like, why do you keep sending her these emails? Oh, because she has to pay. Everyone has to pay by a certain point, but you're sending these out too often to everyone. Okay? And then that'll be adjusted. You've got to keep your mindset, your process of where you're going and what you're doing on point for you. Okay? This will be the same process if you're dealing with someone, say, who is a godparent in an African traditional religion. Sometimes people see you and they see what they want to see in you. And that's all they see. And there's a lot more there. But after sitting down and having a conversation with these people, because a lot of the times when you are a person who is very well known, very knowed, very, have an expertise in what you do, and you're in African traditional religions, you can kind of become like this larger than life personality. And what happens is, you'll find that they kind of just got you pegged. They've kind of just got you pegged. They done figured it out. They know what everything is going to be already, right? They're giving you things to do that have nothing to do with the tradition, because in truth they didn't pull down the shells, read you nothing. They just telling you to do stuff. And the Orisha may not want you doing that stuff. You got to be careful of this type of thing. You have to be a person that understands I am deeper than what people see. And that just because they see it, it doesn't necessarily mean it applies to me. It's the same thing when you go into a bank and you're an older person. Older people get typecast in a bank. Hey, babe, I'm doing a video. Older people get typecast in a bank. And hey, baby. Yeah, it's on it. You have to, the only person that's eating is Aaron. You have to recognize when you walk into a bank, it will be good, very good, if you could have a child with you who is familiar with banking. But when I say that, I just mean they've been to their bank before. Because what happens is they will be ignored, talked over, and people will kind of do what they want, and they always tend to leave this important institution feeling like they have not been heard, and this place is holding their money. So you're going to hear, especially a child, you're going to hear about this conversation over and over and over again. But what is the process that we put in place that makes it easier for people to understand that we are working to live a good life? And we're not going to live a pitiful life because they have this view of us that's completely possibly true at some facet of your life, but does not apply any longer. How do you put that across? Well, you just have to. You have to determine that, okay, I'm here in this conduct office and this person thinks they just going to run me over. I'm going to call my mom and dad. And a lot of the times people go, oh, but they're paying. They're going to be so upset with me. They're going to be more upset with you if you take and sign on that dotted line and have something now in your file you should never have signed. Always call your parents so they can call and interface and all that kind of stuff. I know, because you're not grown and in college. You just extended high school by 4 years. This is what happens. At least 2. Until kids want to really kind of handle it themselves. Now, let's move back to being a Cancer rising for these past 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Are y'all feeling everything? Did you feel the full moon coming in? Did you feel all that? Like, are you feeling Mars having, I don't know if it's moved yet or if it's getting ready to move, into Leo? I know I'm going to feel that because I think it's there. I feel like, I feel like that. And I think it could be over there. Yeah, baby. How are you guys feeling? Are you applying what it is that I'm telling you? Remember, as a Cancer rising, you should be doing all moon work on all moon days, and every day is a moon day because the moon is moving every day. Watch void of course times if you can, especially if you got something major big that you're getting ready to do as far as woo-woo work. But you should be doing that work on eclipses, lunar or solar, new and full, and everything in between, and everything that the moon leads you to. When you see the word moon somewhere, read the sentence, find out what it's about. You know what I mean? For me, I take it as far as, like, I'm wearing a perfume right now. I think it's called Moon Shade. And I got some moonstone on me. Like, moon is my thing. Okay? You should be mooning all the time.
That's all I had.
Where's the sausage?
For Peyton to eat.
Where's the sausage?
There's no sausage.
It's in the microwave. There's only 2 more pieces left in there?
I ain't see no sausage.
No, I'm talking about bread. Weirdness around here. Peyton, did you have bread already? Okay, Peyton already had some, so that's just mine left in there. Because I haven't eaten. It's really key to understand when it comes to these transits that are going on, they are having an effect on all of us. And managing them becomes a much easier process for everyone once they are full-blown aware of what their rising sign is. I love to say Cancer rising because, number one, I am one, and I have done so much research into it. And I would just continue to tell everyone, you have to look into your chart. You must look into your astrology chart. Because as you look into your astrology chart, that's, number one, something totally different than what you've probably ever done in your life. If you happen to be a Cancer rising, the moon is running your life. And if the moon is running your life, honey, it has an impact on your life daily. Not every other day, not every 3 weeks, not every 2 months. Every day. Okay, enjoy. It's important to realize it. If you don't get a chance to, yeah, I'm going to get ready to shut down soon. If you don't get a chance to change how you do everything, if you're not taking a chance to look and see which is your rising sign, you won't know how often that planet moves and what it's doing. If you are a Cancer rising, though, our planet moves the fastest in the zodiac, period. And it's only ours. Nobody else shares that with us. So we have to really manage that energy. And managing that energy means being aware of it and understanding the impact it has on your life. And by doing so, you're going to pay attention to the transits of the moon and everything else. But really, the transits of the moon, where was it? What was it doing that day? And why did you feel this way? And how do you start to tap into that to do many other things? And it's a myriad of other things that you can do. I'm here to tell you. This week it just hasn't quit so far. I don't think I've had a crazy thing today. But I did get some calls this morning already. Yes. So things are on the move. Okay? Did find out some information. Yes, I did. I'm just here to tell you that, bottom line, you need to have a system when you go into places and allow the world to do what you want the world to do. Don't just, it's not as fly by night. It's not as rudimentary as people would make it seem. It's not like that. It is more so whatever you put out is coming back to you. That is what it is. And as you put more out, it comes back to you. So you have to be cognizant of what you're putting out. And being able to understand your hardware is your astrology chart. Your astrological chart helps you to figure that out. Okay? So the reason that you want to understand those things, especially when you're younger, is because people who don't know will kind of force you into silos that they want to control and make things happen a certain way. And if you don't want that, if you want your dream for your life, hear me. Look into your astrological chart. Find out the time you were born and get thee to a free website. Astrodientist is Dienst is one of the best. Okay? Everybody have a great weekend. I'll be back before then. Peace.